Now listen to me!
Is gross in the extreme.
You were not there at the beginning of that interview! You were not there! You did not hear or record all of the interview!
I am not going to discuss the disgusting perversions, perversions, things that are so fundamentally offensive.
Now, do you listen to me?
You listen to me for a second.
Now, do you listen to me?
You listen to me for a second.
No, stop there, Tommy.
No, I'm not stopping there. You listen to me for a second. You're across from these esteemed women, these dignified women. No. I don't understand the nature of I'm going to stop you as a person making slant, preconceived, already determined idea of exactly how it's going to ask me that question again, and you're going to repeat things about volcanoes and this kind of thing and so on and so forth. I will stand up and walk out, Martin.
I've got a right to report that, Tommy.
I'm angry. Real angry.
What is an ideal scene in life?
I'm angry. Real angry.
The instances that you're saying that Mr. Miscavige engaged in, I wouldn't do it. Because this guy's a fucking lunatic. I wouldn't do it. And the instances that you're saying that Mr. Miscavige engaged in, I wouldn't do it. Because this guy's a fucking lunatic. I wouldn't do it. Fucking lunatic. Not once, not twice, but 50 times to 22 people, but it isn't true. Fucking lunatic. And that's what pisses me off.
Real angry.
Fucking lunatic.
Real angry.
That's what pisses me off.
You got it. Right here, right now. I'm angry. Real angry.
What is an ideal scene in life?
I'm angry. Real angry.
We're talking about the ecclesiastical leader of the Scientology religion, okay? And it's a bigger picture than that here. And I think that the individuals Mr. Miscavige attacked have a right to it, because factually, every single person stating that they were deep by Mr. Miscavige. The one person who was attacked more than any of them, and more viciously than any of them, and more frequently over a longer period of time, was Mike Ringer, who was slapped, punched, kicked, choked, grabbed by the neck, thrown to the floor, and tackled into the furniture. So many had before. Jesse Prince, Vicky Asnoran, Larry Wallashine, Robert Von Young, Stacey Young, all of them, the same allegations, saying the same things, in some cases things far more horrible.
Friend, it is your turn to listen to me. No, it's your turn to listen to me. I'm a British subject, not an American citizen, and in my country we have a freedom of speech. I have a right to report that.
I'm angry. Real angry. Right here, right now.
It's very impressive to listen to.
When we come back, the future of celebrities in the church.
Dave Miscavige beat these people.
It's not just Dave Miscavige.
Dave Miscavige beat the exact same people that he beat.
It's not just Dave Miscavige. It's not just me. It's everyone out there. Am I gonna do it or am I not gonna do it?
Fucking lunatic.
Period.
Dave Miscavige beat these people.
Period. Period.
Dave Miscavige beat these people.
Period. Here's the problem. You don't know the history of psychiatry. I do. And she doesn't understand the history of psychiatry. She doesn't understand in the same way that you don't understand it, man. To talk about it when you don't know, and I do. Man, you don't even, you're glib. You don't even know what Ritalin is. You're glib. You don't even know what Ritalin is. And I do. And I do. I do. I do. Here's the problem. You don't know the history of psychiatry. I do.
And you're saying 75 to 100, but it isn't true.
That's not what I'm saying. That's an alteration of what I'm saying. I'm saying
and now
that...
I'm getting a little angry. Am I angry at you? Not necessarily.
You're glib. You don't even know what Ritalin is. What is an ideal scene in life?
Dave Miscavige beat these people.
That justifies that.
But if that's what Mr. Cruz has brought to this world, there still remains one more word on the man.
When you drive past an accident, it's not like anyone else.
I hope you're ready.
You know you're the only one that can really help.
I mean, there's people that are OT that are some of the most incompetent, stupid people. David Miscavige says, hey, there's been this big breakthrough in this golden age of tech.
Wow, SPs, like, they'll just read about those history books, you know?
Fucking piece of shit.
That's how I feel.
Fucking piece of shit. Golden age of tech. Fucking piece of shit.
And David Miscavige came through the garage along with a guy named Mark Ingber, grabbed me around my throat and started choking me. I didn't want to fight back or get hit. He was pulling on my hair and he was punching at me and kicking at me.
Not once, not twice, but 50 times to to 22 people.
And my head was bleeding. The person who's the head of the organization that you've dedicated your life to is actually physically attacking you.
You know, we have that responsibility to say, hey, this is the way it should be done. Because we do it this way.
That's not why I got involved in Scientology.
And the further up the Sea Org you get, the more PTS you get.
We come to the next chapter of this evening's event, specifically the creation of Islands of Sanity. Islands of Sanity.
Daily physical, verbal abuse, emotional abuse is just rampant throughout the international headquarters of Scientology.
Islands of Sanity.
People yelling at people, people punching people.
And that's what pisses me off.
I myself, on at least 10 different occasions, have witnessed David Miscavige actually physically strike other staff members to the ground so many times or damage them physically that they actually needed medical attention, or that a medical officer from the facility would have to come and bandage them or treat them.
They are just the beginning of the unrelenting parade that you'll see in weeks and months to come.
I myself was punched several times by David Miscavige.
Well, as for our testament to flourishing and prospering,
Regularly, David Miscavige would, a conference room full of people at the base, physically assault, punch, slap open-handed, grab by the neck, throw to the floor, a number of international executives.
Slap, punch, kick, choke, grab by the neck, throw him to the floor, and tackle him in front.
while I could detail everything it took to make this happen,
Mark Yeager, Ray Midoff, he would regularly hit this guy open-handed upside the head real hard. Mike Rinder probably got it worse than anybody else. I saw him get beat up at least a dozen times just in those last 4 years or so that I was in.
Rinder says he witnessed Miscavige physically attack church staffers and was attacked himself some 50 times.
David jumps up onto the table and across the table at Jeff Hawkins,
50 times.
who was a marketing manager at the time,
50 times.
and knocked him over, grabbed him around the neck and was strangling him and pulling out his clothes. He had buttons popping. It was just all happening right at my feet.
David Miscavige beat these people, and that's what pisses me off. David Miscavige beat these people, and that's what pisses me off. Fucking lunatic. They can attest to it, and there are witnesses to it. There are witnesses to it. Witnesses to it.
by real Scientologists never forgetting the price of freedom.
Fucking lunatic. Fucking lunatic. And now I'm getting a little angry. Am I angry at you? Not necessarily. But I'm goddamn pissed at Marty Rathbun. Goddamn pissed at Marty. Pissed at Marty. Marty Rathbun. Marty Rathbun.
To brief you on that front, please welcome Mr. Mike Rinder.
Thank you and good evening.
Mike Rinder probably got it worse than anybody else.
For all we do to reverse the downward spiral, no stable progress can be made in a world where individuals are slumped in moral decline.
Rinder was attacked himself some 50 times.
Just the last year,
But if all that represents what Scientologists are doing in their zone, in the creation of their future,
Are you fucking crazy? Do you see how stupid I was?
one more that is both the product of every Scientologist,
Then you should give me my fucking money
there
back.
be any doubt as to what this new breed of organization means.
High fences with razor barbed wire atop every single fence, with security cameras, high-powered floodlights, motion detectors every 10 feet on the fence. So
Tonight's the night when all dots connect. Tonight's the night when all dots connect. Tonight's the night when all dots connect.
Give me my fucking money back. Give me my fucking money back. My fucking money
David
back.
Miscavige is this madman who roams around the base, throws people in swimming pools, locks them in trailers, beats them unmercifully, and that's sort of the Scientology upper level.
That is what our international programs to bring our solutions are all about.
David Miscavige is a nut who's running around beating everybody, and. You tell him that Tommy Davis that he is an outright coward. He's a bastard and a coward. And a psychotic. Joe, look at me when I'm talking. He's a bad man and he's psychotic. Bad stuff. And you make sure that you tell him that I said he's psychotic. Because only a psychotic would do what he's doing.
That's what LRH meant when he told us to flourish and prosper.
Dave did this, Dave did that, Dave did this.
And that's, of course, what the International Association of Scientologists is all about.
Dave did this, Dave did that, and Dave did this. Because only a psychotic would do what he's doing.
That such responsibility falls on just a few shoulders is an unfortunate fact of existence at this time. There will definitely come a day when you can very truthfully say, I was not only there, I was on the team.
Because clearly, in between beating people, he's doing all the things I just described.
I don't expect the head of a religion to physically assault and threaten his staff the way that man does.
Not once, not twice, but 50 times to 22 people, and that's what pisses me off. Fucking lunatic. And that's what pisses me off. Fucking lunatic.
Thank you for your trust. Thank you for your confidence in me. I've personally been very privileged to see what you do, to help, to protect, to serve all of us.
Not once, not twice, but 50 times to 22 people, and there are witnesses to it.
It was not magic. It was just know-how and every staff member knowing and wearing his hat and doing his job. Spectacular. Ask anybody who was there.
Guillaume Sev, Mark Yeager, Mark Eber, Ray Madoff, Norman Starkey, Rendell Reynolds, and Mike Rinder were either slapped, punched, kicked, choked, grabbed by the neck, thrown to the floor, or tackled into furniture.
We are saving beings.
And I have never met a more competent, a more intelligent, a more tolerant, a more compassionate being. And I've met the leaders of leaders. Okay? I've met them all. So I say to you, Sir COB, we are lucky to have you, and thank you.
Is COB, does he want $1 billion?
One quality that has always set us apart is that we are unselfish.
It's bigoted, it's discriminatory, it's hateful, it's harmful, and it's disrespectful.
But we share those solutions with anyone who reaches for them.
You can't fucking clear Beverly Hills with these prices. There's no fucking way.
These are the times now, people. These are the times we will all remember. Were you there? What did you do? I think you know that I am there for you, and I do care so very, very, very much. So what do you say? We can clean this place up? Dweller H. Dweller H. Dweller H. Dweller H.
Now, this was a very significant point because just winning wouldn't be good enough. We always knew we'd win.
Is COB, does he want $1 billion?
Yeah. Are you like broke? I'm not even criticizing you for being broke. If you are, the economy is the economy right now, and I'm painfully aware.
I mean, I should be insulted, and I am, but I'll humor you. No, I am not broke.
And all these people, like on 7, like a bunch of fucking idiots, were like, wow.
And I saw an effort to grab another ton of money from a lot of people.
And then about $500 million later, COB gives a fucking briefing on the freeways, and this is what they show me. It's arbitrary, it's canceled.
All about the Benji squad.
And I finally just said, you know something, motherfuckers? I don't care. You can get LRH to fly down here back from fucking Target 2 and tell me that I am fucking doing it wrong. I am not going in session and doing this shit. You guys are fucking killing me.
It's not a money-oriented question.
Because no one's really complaining about having to buy them again. Very few people. Very few people.
A handful of us aren't nattering or dramatizing or whining or waiting.
You're not giving me standard tech. Now you want to fix it by more unstandard shit? Get the fuck out of here.
With actually building a world where man can rise to greater heights.
You're fucking me up. So I'm out of here until you fucking wake up, okay?
In other words, it's only true if you yourself observe it to be true. And that's integrity.
To lie to people like that, to take money, to have no sense of responsibility when you rip people off for hundreds of millions of dollars and then make them happy about it afterwards? Arbitrary is canceled. Are you fucking kidding me?
In other words, it's only true if you yourself observe it to be true. And that's integrity.
You know, me personally, I look at David Miscavige. That's my definition of 1-1. He's good at it.
But that was only the beginning.
Stop the beat a minute. I got something to say. Dre, I want to tell you this shit right now. Why this fucking weed is in me. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I love you, dog. I got your motherfucking back. Just know this shit.
I feel like you should have a fucking apology. I said if I were COB and I made that mistake, I wouldn't go arbitrary is canceled and I'd make up the fucking damage.
But even so, it was still only just the beginning.
My fucking mistake made me $500 fucking million and you don't fucking even say you're sorry?
I cannot stand to watch this. I cannot live with this anymore.
They're considered to be suppressive people by the church. They say close family members still in the church are no longer talking to them.
Anything that's characterized as disconnection or this kind of thing, it's just not true. There isn't any such policy that in the church that's dictating who people should or should not be in communication with. You know, it just doesn't happen.
And my son, he can't speak to his brother or his mother.
You think that's supposed to make me fucking happy?
They claim that the church separates family members.
There is this disconnection.
I got a little son. He was in a little Scientology school. They kicked him out. They kicked him out. So he had nothing to do, and it fucked him up.
So you were supposed to disconnect yourself.
First of all, this is a perfect example of how the internet turns things and twists things.
We found another mother who's been disconnected from her only child for nearly 2 years. No Christmas cards, no birthday cards, nothing. It was a heart-rending interview.
There's no such thing as disconnection as you're characterizing it.
Crushed the bond we have. They've stolen her, so it's beyond a bond. They've removed the bond. I've lost my child to Scientology.
We consider family to be a building block of any society.
Most of Mike's family are still inside Scientology. None of them speak to him or his dying father. They've been disconnected.
There's no such thing as disconnection as you're...
To lie to people like that?
It's as if you are terrified of anyone criticizing. It's as if there's something that you've got to hide.
I was married and she so decided she wanted to divorce me. This was very, very common.
Maybe the greatest punishment is the self-inflicted punishment of the recognition of what he's done. Maybe the greatest punishment is the self-inflicted punishment of the recognition of what he's done. Maybe the greatest punishment is the self-inflicted punishment of the recognition of what he's done.
The fact is, the well-intentioned people of this world are not the only ones on this planet who we are and what we represent. The freedom of all mankind.
For me, the greatest joy that I have ever found or I ever find in Scientology is every time I'm able to do something to help somebody else and reunite with their family. I mean, you can't replace that. There's no greater joy. That's something that money can't buy, that nothing can surpass that.
To lie to people like that?
They're required to disconnect.
Be reunited with their family. And
they're required to disconnect.
She disconnected from him and their son.
To be able to do anything to help somebody achieve that, without question, there's no greater joy.
It would be probably useful for me to kind of go through this thing, because I'm still trying to discover what happened. I feel still a little lost and bewildered, and I don't quite get it. You know what I mean? I don't get it. And so for me, if I was going to write something, the concept of the title would be how I got into Scientology and why I got out. And why I got out.